Hey, this is Jay. I'm here to present my third project for CS526 Computer Graphics 2. This is an open topic project and I'm doing the volume rendering for this project. Now let's check out what I've got. The data that is rotating in the wall is the volume data that I was rendering. I read the data from a series of images and I'm using OpenSceneGraph volume library to do the volume construction and rendering. There you can see I have a little widget that is actually rotating along with the volume I have. This widget is used to tell the user that the current orientation of the object of the volume. The reason for that is I'm also using the orientation to do the volume clipping I'll show you later in the demo. Now I'm switching from maximum intensity projection to standard. This is the shader model I'm using right now. And I'm changing the alpha function, which determines the cutoff threshold of the volume data to be rendered on the. As I increase the cutoff threshold, which is the alpha function value, you can see that more volume gets. Now I'm showing you how the threshold affects the render results of the maximum intensity projection. Other than the alpha function value, we can also set the transparency for the entire volume data. Now I'm going to show you how do I interact with the transfer function. On the left of the screen there, you will see my visualization for the transfer function. The first slider on the menu stands for the intensity of the current volume data. If you move the slider around, you can see the color and the alpha value changes along with the slider. If you change any of those values there, we can see that the change you made is already applied to the scene graph, as well as the transfer function on the left. You can see that the color of the sphere is the same thing as what we have for the volume data on the screen. The transfer function is defined by a set of control points, and all the value in between gets interpolated. You can see right now we have 4 control points on the transfer function, and there is a way that I can reset all those control points, remove the extra ones, just keep the one of the intensity 0 and the other one being intensity 1. I just did that, and you can see that the modification actually applies to both the transfer function and the volume data that gets rendered. Now I'm resetting the rotation. You can see that this modification also applies to both the volume data and the little widgets we have. On the two sides of the cave there, I also want to show you guys the small multiples I have, which is the original data that I used to build my volumetric module. Okay, on the right it's the same setting exactly as what we have on the left side of the cave. Now I'm going to show you the volume clipping that I have. You can see as my hand moves from the right to the left, the volume data that gets rendered is also clipping. The clipping plane kind of moves from right to the left. This makes it way much easier for the user to control their clipping plane. And I also have I have this clipping function in all 3 dimensions working independently to each other. And now you can see I'm doing the clipping on Y axis. Now I'm showing how to restore the clipping plane, just moving the contours direction as when you're trying to do the clipping. We can also use our clipping on different shading model. In this case, if I use the light model there, you can see it kind of gives you more sense of the actual clipping doing there. Well, that's what I have for this project. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.